What's up, guys? So day 2 is starting off with me walking down to the convenience store because I need to buy super glue because I messed up. As I was taking apart one of the housings last night, it decided to snap on me. And when I mean snap, it's the glass didn't shatter, or the plastic didn't shatter, but the interior panel that you actually, of the headlight that you actually paint the housing, for some reason when I was pulling it apart, I guess I pulled it apart too fast and it snapped. So I'm going down to buy some super glue real quick, and I'm gonna start day 2 of the headlight modification. Just giving you guys a heads up. Be very careful when you're pulling off the housings. Just be very careful. I made the mistake. It's not bad, it's fixable, but yeah, I need to watch this to go get super glue. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this up and get these things, get this thing done today and get it installed. So just thought I'd give you guys a heads up. All right, guys, so what I'm doing now is just basically prepping this thing for paint. The video I just posted, or that I just made, that will be before this, is just showing you guys what happened. So right here, you can kind of see the crack. It's not that bad. It really isn't. I did super glue it. It looks fine. It's going to be painted black, so you're not going to see the crack. At least I hope not. But we will see. But mistakes happen. That's what happens when you're modifying your car. Little things will happen. So it's not a big deal. I mean, if I upgrade the headlamps, sometime later, then it's not really going to be a big deal. So I'm not 100% worried about it. We will see what happens. If I have to open the headlight again, then I'll open the headlight again. It's simple as that. So I'm not worried about it at all. But what we're just going to do is, right now, I'm going to wipe it down, get all of the fingerprints and marks off of it, and then we're going to go ahead and go paint it. All right. So now that it's all prepped and out here, the paint I'm using is Krylon Color Master. It's a paint for metal, wood, plastics, and more. It's a paint and primer mix. So that'll do it. I know there's some videos out there that had there's another company of paint, but specifically for plastics. This will work just fine. So now I've got these things outside in a controlled environment. Make sure you want to, mix up the paint really, really well. And then we're just gonna start painting this thing. So definitely gonna love these things more as black housings than this chrome. This chrome looks like garbage. So we're gonna go ahead and get this going. And the first coat, you just want to kind of, you don't want to cover it completely. You just gently spray it over, let it dry, come out. I'm probably gonna do about 4 or 5 coats on this thing just to get full coverage. And give it about 15 minutes in between each coat. That way it dries. And yeah, just go from there. So let's get this thing started. And there they are, fully painted in the satin black. So I think they came out really, really good. There's a couple little specks here and there just from floating debris and dirt out there on my patio. But so far so good. So we're gonna start putting these back together. Going ahead and installing the sea light and putting the little cover over it. Now I don't have anything, unfortunately, at the moment to paint the side markers, so I'm just gonna roll with them being that color. If I don't like it, I can always just buy that overlay from Premium Auto Styling again. But so far, I mean, this is actually turned out really good. So I'm really happy how the paint came out. I did 5 coats. I waited about 15 minutes in between each coat, so that way I knew it was kind of dry. Made sure to get every little nook and cranny, and made sure to get every little crevice as well as possible. The backside obviously isn't going to be painted, but you're not going to see that in the headlamp itself. So I'm going to just go ahead and start putting this back together and getting the sea lamp installed and go from there. So the only one thing I'm worried about with this install is just the wiring portion. I am horrible with wiring, but I know that from watching YouTube videos and stuff like that, and other tutorials, I know that it's not exactly as hard as I'm making it out to be. So I'll get this done. I'm gonna get this all back together, and then go from there. So let's get started. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna get the sea light out of its package from Diode Dynamics. Figure out which one is which. Obviously being very careful when taking this thing out of the packaging. Kind of already ripped it open just to, you know, see what it looked like. Got myself all hyped up to do this install. Alright, so there we go. And this one is going to be for this headlamp here. So what you want to do first is take the connector, feed it through where your old halogen bulb used to sit. Keep just feeding it through there until you get this thing to sit in the exact position that you want it. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that in there like that. Let's see, and that is sitting about where it's going to sit, just like that. Yep, okay, so that's exactly where it's going to sit, just like that. And then what we'll do is we will take the cover for the C-lamp and get it into place. I, of course, am being super careful because I don't want to mess anything up. So, just taking my time to get this lined up as well as I can. So I'm going to do that real quick. I know you guys don't want to see me try to fight with this thing and you know, I don't want to say ruin it because I'm not going to ruin it, but I'm going to take my time and get this thing in position the best I can. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like after. Okay, so now that I've got the seat light installed and the cover back on and the side marker, hope you can see this stuff, we're gonna go ahead and put that back into the housing itself. Okay, make sure that's clean. Let's see here. So we wanna obviously match it up to where it needs to go and just kind of drop it in. And you're just gonna replace the 3 screws like you did last time. Or put the 3 screws back in that you took out. And that's really it. And then it's back into the housing. And then we can go ahead and put the retro rubber back on the actual plastic part. And we'll put it into the oven for about 8 minutes at 225 degrees. And that way they can fuse them together. And we will get these things back together. Okay, so now that I've got the interior housing back attached to the lens, we are going to go ahead and put the new retro rubber, which is this stuff right here. We're going to do it right here in this crevice all the way around, and trying to be as thorough as possible to get it in here all the way around, no seams whatsoever. And then when you're done, you're going to take the other half of the headlight, squish it together, put it in the oven for about 8 to 9 minutes on 225 degrees. That will loosen this stuff up enough that you can actually get the headlamp back and clamp it into place. Then you'll put your screws on there, then you'll put your wiring harness back on, and really that's it. Then we're gonna go back, install them back into the car, and we got to do the wiring for the DRL to C-lamp conversion and also the switchback function. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this done real quick, and then we'll go from there. And there we are, ready to go in the oven. So I'm gonna go preheat the oven, get this thing in here, take it out of the oven, and then go ahead and get it into place. And then we will be ready to put the wire harnesses back on, the rubber holes for the headlamps, and then go ahead and get these down to the car and get them installed. I cannot wait. And there they are, fully put together, fully complete. What I did on the back, because obviously you're gonna have an extra plug. You can kind of see it right there. halogen bulb that used to go where the sea light goes, what I did was just taped it to the sea light harness. So that way it's not going to go anywhere, it's going to stay put. What I did do also is I also taped up the, I put tape over the actual connector where the bulb used to go into, just to protect it so that way no water gets in there, you know, it doesn't short out or anything like that. So these things are ready to go. Okay, now it's time to take the work outside and get them onto the car and also wire them up. Pretty nervous about wiring them up. This is like the biggest modification I've done to the car so far. Everything else has been really easy. So let's see if I can get this done. Okay, headlights installed, kind of. It's held in loosely. I was working on the wiring. So I tapped into the yellow wire coming out of there, taps into the turn signal, which I had to pull this plug away from over there. Just have kind of enough space to actually tap it in. Can't really see it from the top. Let me see if I can. Can't really see it from the top, but so according to Diode Dynamics, the white wire taps into the wire coming out of the OMC light, the red one, and the black wire taps obviously into the black wire for ground. Yellow taps into the turn signal, so that way it has the switchback feature. And then this red one too, which I'll be using for the DRL as the sea light. So I just actually turned it on just to make sure it worked, and it works fine. The switchback feature works fine too. I kind of hate how there wasn't a lot of space. Like, I mean, I probably could have tapped it in somewhere else, but I'm absolutely horrible with wiring. So it is installed, and I'm going to work on the other side, get that going, make sure everything is working, put the bumper on, and then show you guys what it looks like afterwards. Now I am doing the DRL, like I said a second ago. If I can find the box, here it is. I am doing the sea light is DRL, or the DRL delete basically. So I am going to have to get in there and plug this wire in. It says that the DRL box is somewhere over here, so I'm going to have to take off the bumper and kind of locate it and run the wiring, but I will show you guys what that looks like once I am done. Note, if you're going to do the DRL delete slash sea light as DRL, this harness here comes with the one from Diode Dynamics. I don't know about the other one. I forgot what company makes it. It does say that the short side will go to the passenger side, and the long side you're going to have to run. I'm probably going to take the air inlet off and run it across there. I wish I had some zip ties. I'll probably have to find something. But anyway, run it across to the other side and install it that way. So I'm going to do that, and I will show you guys what it looks like when it's all complete. This project's taken me over about a day now of just taking it off and putting it back together and painting the housings, and then now doing this. So it's worth it though. I just turned it on to look at it, and I love it already. So, and I already love the black housings way better than the chrome one. So anyway, a lot of work. A biggest, you know, and most dangerous as far as, like, you know, making actual damage to the car mod that I've done so far. But so far it's not too bad. The wiring, like I said, is just kind of like my Achilles heel. I hate wiring. I hate tapping into stuff. I always feel like I'm gonna mess it up. But so yeah, so we're good here. I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, install the other side. Just want to show you a quick update of it on the car and kind of the wiring, what it looks like. I know you can't really see it from the back, but it's real simple. I thought it was gonna be a lot harder, but once you get your hands on it and start doing it, it actually isn't too bad. So I'm gonna just get this finished real quick and show you guys what it looks like after. I wasn't gonna really film the install of the DRL harness, the sea light to DRL harness, but I didn't really see a lot of people doing it online except for Diode Dynamics YouTube channel themselves. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick overview. Like I said, I have a harness here, and this is the harness that they give you with the sea lights. So this is going to plug in right here. Now the thing is this isn't one of those clips, you know, connectors that you push down to take off. You actually have to pull up on this little section here in the back, and then it will come off. So all you have to do is just plug it in to the one from Diode Dynamics right here and run the short wire up to the sea light wiring harness, which is going to be this red one here for this side, and then run it across the car, and that's it. So I wasn't going to really film that, but I didn't really find a lot of people who had it on there, so I might as well show you guys how to do that as well. I mean, that way you guys know how to do it if you're doing it at the same time of upgrading your sea lights. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to run the wire across the car and then get back to it.